Hey, what's going on? It's your man DU. It's your man DU. And this is another episode of Talking Trash. Let's get to it. Yeah. You know how we get down. We're gonna start it off with some Mongo talk. If you're familiar with Mongo talk is just gonna be like, little jewels that I'm gonna give you. And I want to talk about narratives, false narratives. Um, you got people out here putting out false narratives, about certain individuals. Not talking about myself, but it could have been me, right? But you got like I've been watching a lot of guys on different platforms talk about Tyler Kolick and how Tyler Kolick can't play defense, right? Um, Tyler Kolick is an NBA player. Is an NBA player. He was good enough to get drafted in the NBA, which most of us aren't, right? What they say, it's about 450, it's about 450 spots, right, in the NBA. So most of us wasn't good enough to get drafted in the NBA. A lot of people, tons of people, millions of people. And this guy is a player that has a spot out of 450. It's not like he doesn't know how to play defense. But I watch people run with the narrative. Oh, he can't play defense. So Tom Thibodeau is not going to play him. Tom Thibodeau is not going to give him any burn. He's a rookie. He's going to go through growing pains. He's going to go through trials and tribulations just like any new person on a job. Just like any new person on a job. You don't walk in as the new guy and the boss has extreme confidence in you. Nah, if I want to get something done, I'm going to look at the senior man, right? I'm going to look at the person with the most seniority. But I'm watching different people on different platforms because they don't know what to say. Hey, Tyler Kolick is not playing because he doesn't know how to play D. And I'm looking at these guys repeat this same false narrative. Is Tyler Kolick OG Anunoby? No. Maybe, matter of fact, how do we know? He's not really playing. What can you tell in 6 minutes, 7 minutes of playing time? Nothing. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say, okay, Tyler Kolick is not OG Anunoby. Tyler Kolick defensively. Tyler Kolick is not Gary Payton defensively, right? But you're saying, hey, this guy won't play, or he can't play, or he's not going to play because he can't play defense. His defense is horrible. Most of your takes are horrible. Most of your takes are horrible because you're running with the narrative. I've seen people running with the same narrative over and over and over again that somebody else from another platform is saying. And where I come from, that's called being sucker free. Stay suck. Like in my hood, we used to walk down the block and it used to be like, hey, yo, what's good? How you doing? Yo, I'm just trying to stay sucker free. That's them people that, think they know you, but don't know you. Talk about you to other people and create false narratives about you. Create false narratives that they have no idea what you're doing from day to day. I watch people lose their jobs over false narratives. I watch people get hurt over false narratives. And right now I'm watching a whole bunch of content creators and different people on different platforms talk about Tyler Kolick and his defense and the reason why he's not playing. He's a rookie. He's going to play. And believe me, and no knock against TJ McConnell, he's going to be better than TJ McConnell. But that's another narrative people running with. Hey, he's white. TJ McConnell balled out. That's what I'm going to compare him to. Man, this man got so much court vision, you know? And TJ McConnell is a heck of a ball player. But the ceiling for Tyler Kolick is ridiculous. So I'm just going to say, hey, you guys that's out there that have these platforms, be a little bit more responsible. Don't just regurgitate what somebody else say. I mean, I listened to a cat just blatantly lie and said when Tyler Kolick was in Marquette, the offense ran through the center. I can't think of the center's name right now, but he said the offense ran through the center. He said he was like the point. He was like the point forward. Like how he's going to run through the center, he's going to be the point forward, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he said the point forward, right? He was he was the power forward, and he was playing the point forward. And I watched most of Marquette games. The ball was in Tyler Kolick's hand 95% of the time. He ran that offense. But yeah, narratives, false narratives. Yeah. So like we used to do in my old neighborhood, stay sucker free. Tyler Kolick, stay sucker free. Stay away from these suckers. But to talk about narratives, I want to talk about some centers, right? The first center I want to talk about, he's not even playing no more. One of the greatest centers that ever played a game. The most dominant, Shaquille O'Neal. Um, it was a big stir about something Shaquille O'Neal said to Angel Reese, WNBA player. She was a rookie, very talented, promising uh, basketball player for the WNBA. He was on her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, right? Um, and they had a lot of banter going back and forth. And you can tell that they have a relationship past just him coming to her podcast and her giving him and him giving her an interview. They talked about, matter of fact, she went to LSU. Who else went to LSU? Shaquille. They talked about her taking care of his daughter, who I guess was a student, I guess who was a student athlete there, right? Um, they talked about Shaquille uh putting in a good word for her to get certain deals with Reebok, with Hershey, or because is the obvious, right? The Reese's peanut butter cups, Angel Reese, right? So they talked about a number of things. And then people chose to focus on when he talked about when he said, "Oh, yo, if you," he said something to the effect of, "Hey, they need to lower the rim, and if you wore them little booty shorts that you wore on Wild and Out, people will love it." Right now, man, for 99% of that podcast, all he spoke about was how how proud of he was of her, how he looked at her as a daughter. And uh they had small uh female male conversation about relationships, right? Back and forth. But it was uh it was the talk like uh an older gentleman talking to a younger woman, which she is. She's a woman. She's not a little girl. And and when Shaq mentioned the, made the statement of her wearing the booty shorts, right? For the lack of a better term, and WNBA low on the rim, people were calling him creepy. People were saying Shaq was trying to shoot his shot. Now, I'm a firm believer in you love who you love, right? You like who you like. But Shaq wasn't trying to shoot his shot with her. Like he wasn't trying to shoot his shot. We've all seen Shaq through the years. Shaq basically has no filter, right? He's going to say what he wants to say because he's been in an environment. Um, Whereas he says mostly what he wants to say. And being that he's in that environment, he's been in an environment where he says mostly where he says mostly what he wants to say, he's hardly ever disrespectful. And the fact when they said she was uncomfortable, when people said, "Oh, she was uncomfortable," only thing she was like, "Hey, come on, man, Shaq, come on." She was doing that throughout the whole podcast because it just looked like that's the nature of their relationship. They joke around, Shaq say something crazy, and she's like, "Hey, Shaq, come on." Because Shaq spent the whole time, maybe not the whole time, but half of the podcast trying to hook her up with some guy behind the scenes named Chris. But no one talks about that. False narratives. People want to make up their own narratives. They see a little clip and want to call Shaq creepy. What I watched the whole podcast, wasn't anything creepy about it. Stop trying to ruin a good man, a good dude. Their relationship is as such. That's their, you could tell they have a relationship. Angel Reese, and when I mean a relationship, I mean a friendly, a friendly male female relationship, older, like older gentleman to younger woman relationship. They're friends. You can tell she's not a child. He talks to her like as a young woman, young daughter. He keeps it real. But it's getting crazy when a man can't talk to a woman without being creepy. Like Like as guys, we all know, like the older aunties when I was younger, the older aunties would say something crazy, right? But that don't mean they was trying to shoot their shot. Most times they wasn't. It's just like some people have no filter, right? They have no filter, and depending on the nature of your relationship, they feel like, hey, we can talk this way, or I can talk this way to you, right? So yeah, cut it out with those false narratives and shit. The next thing, another center want to talk about was Joel Embiid. Um, I believe Joel Embiid got suspended 3 games. And I'm gonna keep it real brief on this. He got suspended 3 games because he pushed a Philadelphia reporter, columnist in the locker room. Um, because the columnist, and I'm not even going to repeat the whole thing, said some things about his dead brother. Protect, like he injected his, dead brother in his statement. And B didn't take kindly to it, and he pushed him. For that reporter, that columnist, he's lucky that's all he did, right? Lucky that's all he did. And B is a 7'1", 7'2" giant of a man. I sleep on no man. I don't know what this columnist knows. You know what I'm saying? I don't know like what type of skills he has. But the fact that Embiid only pushed you and nothing happened to Embiid, I'm thinking, hey, Embiid could have did you dirty. Um, I don't know in what world you live in where they cross the line like that. Um, Daryl Morey, Daryl Morey, and upper management should have uh, tried to protect Embiid from this guy. I heard that that wasn't the first problem Embiid has had with this individual, but once you start not respecting or letting the dead rest in peace, that's a problem. You know, that's a problem. And the fact that Embiid pushed him, then he got suspended 3 games. Hey, I'm knowing Embiid sitting home right now saying, "Hey, it was worth it." Hopefully, he won't try it again, right? And then, um, Doc Rivers' son, Austin Rivers, right? He made a statement that caused a stir this week, saying Carl Anthony Towns is more skilled than the Joker, Nicola, right? More skilled. That cat is more skilled than the Joker. I don't believe so. And cat is a New York Knick, right? The Joker is a whole different animal when it comes to skills. Is cat more athletic? I think so. And cat is not super athletic, so that's telling you how athletic the Joker is, right? But like just looking at their numbers so far, uh, in this season, Cat is averaging 23 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. The Joker is averaging 28 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. 11 assists. That's important. The 28 points, throw that to the side. The 13 points, throw that to the side. The 13 assists. 13 assists. That's different. That's different. Coming from a big man, your center, from the center position. And in my opinion, I think Cat is just as equally, I mean, not Cat, Joker's just as equally as good a shooter as Cat. I think they both on the same level, but Cat is nowhere near the assist man that Joker is. The Joker's averaging 13 assists. This man has supreme court vision. And I always say court vision has something to do with championships, has a lot to do with championships. Think about Magic, supreme court vision. Larry Bird, supreme court vision. Jordan had court vision as well. Great court vision. Was it on the level of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird? Nah, not I don't think so. But when you have those players, this is why people were so excited about Ben Simmons. But when you have those players with supreme court vision, which the Joker has, it's a whole different story. It puts your team in another. It puts your team in another stratosphere, which Denver went to that next stratosphere. They won a championship. But that got me to thinking of the top 5 centers uh, in the NBA right now. Not of all time in the NBA. First, number one, top 5 in this order. I got Embiid. Second, I got the Joker. Third, Anthony Davis. Fourth, Cat. Fifth, Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree. And I'm going to get out of here on that note on the top 5. But before I leave, I always got to leave you, tell you what song to check out. The song of the day. Right now, coming at you late, it's going to be the song of the night. It's a song by October London called She Keep Calling. Check it out and let me know what's good. All right? It's your man, D.U. This is Talking Trash, and I'm out. Enjoy your evening. Oh, yeah, Knicks, get that